Hey, Mark Shepard, HonestHypnosis.com, and today's Mind Mastery Daily. One of the processes that I do all the time is I'm always looking for new ideas. I love new ideas, and every time I go to my dad, the apple falls not far from the tree because he's always reading different things. His stuff is mostly about health, but my thing is all about the mind and how we have to kind of work here first before our bodies and our habits can kind of follow. So on his table, he had a little tiny book called One Small Step You Can Change Your Life, the Kaizen Way by Robert Moore, PhD. I have been using Kaizen for a while, and Kaizen is a Japanese term kind of that emerged out of World War II, and it actually kind of was a collaboration between an American economist or business writer guy named Deming. And essentially it's just making small little improvements every single day, just a small little improvement. And this guy talks about questions, and we've been talking a lot about questions both here and I've been using a lot of my why and how questions in a couple of the different courses that I'm creating right now and working on. There's so much here, but his basic thing is ask small questions, right? And so what I want to just kind of make clear, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine who has been putting my why does it work out better than I can possibly imagine and my other why questions into practice. And she said, now, she seemed to think she had to answer the questions. And that's the whole point. You do not need to answer the question. Why do I love myself so much? You don't have to sit down and make a list. If you want to, go ahead. But the thing is, what we're doing is by asking ourselves why and how questions that empower us, that have presuppositions of self-love, self-worth, self-acceptance, all of those different things, is that your unconscious mind then begins to look around and build evidence for that question, for the presupposition in the question, without you having to consciously do anything, right? So it's literally putting self-love on autopilot. And one of the most powerful questions I ask myself every day is, if I loved myself, how would I behave now, right? If I loved myself, would I speak up to this person, or would I let whatever their thing is kind of slide? So today, the question I want to ask you is, are you shoulding on yourself, right? Are you saying things to yourself like, well, I should be better at this, or I should be more successful by now, or I should be. Those kinds of statements are actually very counterproductive, and they are what I call negative hypnosis. So I have kind of an Ericksonian hypnotic language pattern that I want you to just consider, right? I want you to just listen, and then we're going to be done for the day. I want to drop this into you, and also the idea that just little bits, little tiny steps, little baby steps are going to help you to actually make the massive transformation that you want. But you've got to start small and consistent. The guy in the book talks about a woman who wanted to lose weight, and he suggested to her that she exercise for 1 minute, just 1 minute a day. And she was kind of like, that's not going to do anything. He said, but it will get you moving, right? So if you want to exercise today, exercise for 1 minute, but don't should on yourself. Don't say, well, I should exercise. Just do it for a minute. Do it for 15 seconds, right? Do it for 30 seconds. Just do something towards what you want. And, that's it. He also gave the example of someone who had a messy desk and they wanted to work on it. And he said, just take one paper clip off your desk and put it in the drawer, or put it wherever you put paper clips, right? So a lot of times we get overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand. And so we want to start really looking at the small things, the little tiny things. And for my money, your self-talk and what's going on all the time beneath the surface is one small place where you can begin to take charge, all right? So ask yourself the why questions. Why does it work out better than I could possibly imagine? Take any affirmation. In the Unity Church movement, they use a lot of affirmations. Louise Hay uses a lot of affirmations. But the thing is, there's a difference between an affirmation, I am wealthy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? I am healthy and wealthy and wise. And that's better than I am poor and miserable and dumb, right? But you want to turn into a why question. Why am I healthy, wealthy, and wise? Right? Because when you believe it, your life will show it, right? So taking small steps, asking yourself empowered questions, right? Throughout the day. For me, and the other night, I had a night where mosquitoes were biting me on my dad's screened-in porch, and I wrote a blog post about it. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. But I literally, throughout the night, as I'm swatting mosquitoes, it was only my face that was out of the covers, right? Because I was huddling under the covers. And I just began to ask myself why questions. Why do I find a way to use this? Why do I love myself so much? Why do I feel bad for the mosquitoes? Because they're dying. I felt like there was a pile of corpses around me because I was, right, all night. And I just literally kept asking myself empowered questions throughout the night. Even though it was annoying, even though I wasn't getting the sleep that I wanted, the why questions helped me to shift it. And I woke up just feeling like energized and empowered. And I put in a full day, Saturday, it's Monday today, I guess. And, you know, I didn't feel like I lacked sleep, right? So that's it for today. And here, I just want you to just close your eyes for a second and just listen to this and drop this in. And you might want to rewind it and play it a few times, okay? So here it is. About shoulding on yourself. What you should realize is that you might be in the process of awakening to the possibility that you can begin to transform your self-judgment into self-acceptance and self-love. Why do you begin today? Just let that sink in. I'll read it again. What you should realize is that you might be in the process of awakening to the possibility that you can begin to transform your self-judgment into self-acceptance and self-love today. In one small way, by asking yourself one single empowering question. Could be, why is it possible? Could be, why do I begin now? Could be, why do I begin to love myself? It could be, why do I let go of this old habit, whatever it is that you would like to let go of. All right, so that's it for today. Mark Shepard, master your mind for a change. HonestHypnosis.com. I will see you on the inside.